So Europe is collapsing. I mean, the economy is cooked. And even Mario Draghi, the guy who literally saved the euro in 2012, is saying that it's all over. And I'm just talking about the economics. I won't even touch all the other issues, which are even worse. But let's not go there. Let's keep this about economics, because the economic situation in Europe is dire. And I'm getting my money out. And before you say doom and gloom, you're being alarmist, just stop. The proof is everywhere. BASF, the biggest chemical site on the planet, has been in Germany for over 150 years. They're now building their future over in China. They're moving operations over to China. Volkswagen, which is basically German industry with a badge on it, is strongly considering closing its German factories for the first time ever. And that's not even, you know what? Let's do scary lights, because this situation is bad. I got another one for you. Look at this chart. In 2008, Europe and America were about the same size. If anything, Europe was a touch bigger back then. Guess where they're at today? America is about 40% bigger, and the gap gets wider every single year. Imagine you're in a race with someone and you're leading, but then you randomly decide to just like punch yourself in the balls and let the other guy take the lead. That's Europe. But see, this is just how history kind of works. A nation's collapse generally follows the same path. First, the engine of industry seizes up, then the debt starts adding up, then the smart people just leave because there's no opportunity anymore. And you, a citizen, me, a citizen, and an investor are sitting holding something that's quietly falling to bits. But unlike the standard path, which is a slow step-by-step process that unfolds over decades, Europe is just like speedrunning its collapse. They just woke up one morning and said, you know what, shit is really, really good in Europe. It's lovely. This is a great place to be. Let's just fuck it all up. I mean, what other explanation can you have other than that? And if you got pensions, a retirement plan, a bit of savings in any normal European fund, you're already in this trade. You just never really chose to be in it. Oh, by the way, I was born in Australia, but my family's Italian. I speak Italian fluently. I nostri politici in Europa sono proprio stronzi. Allegedly. Anyway, my point with that is I have a whole lot of family in Italy. I live in Europe, so I'm well acquainted with its decline. Anyway, let's talk about the economic engine seizing up. For decades, the thing quietly powering European industry was cheap Russian gas. The German factories, they ran on it. But the tap got shut off by Russia, and it's not getting turned back on. European industry pays roughly double what the Americans pay for power and 3 times for gas. 3 times. And think about this in your own situation. If your rent suddenly tripled overnight and you have the ability to just move somewhere else, where your power is way, way cheaper, what would you do? You would move, obviously. So that's exactly what these factories are doing. Germany, the so-called powerhouse of Europe, grew by 0.2% in the whole of 2025, and that's after a 2-year recession. That's nothing, by the way. If this 0.2% is nothing. Unemployment has been grinding up to about 6.4%, the highest in nearly 6 years. And the car industry, oh, we need to talk about the car industry. That's the actual pride of Germany. It's lost around 51,000 jobs in a single year, the worst hit corner of the entire economy. Porsche. Profit in Porsche is down more than 90% for the year. They took nearly a €4 billion hit unwinding the electric car plans that they got pushed into doing by the Commission, the European, we'll talk about the Commission in a bit because they... Anyway, the Commission is a merry band of half-wits that run Europe. And by run, I mean they repeatedly run their head into a wall and all the other guys, they cheer each other on. Anyway, Mercedes' profit basically halved down 49%, right? And these aren't crappy little car companies. I mean, it's Mercedes, it's Porsche, it's Volkswagen. Heavy hitters have become heavy shitters. I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. It's never just the same big names anyway. Every one of these factories has hundreds of smaller suppliers feeding it. Tool shops, part makers, little family firms in the towns that you've never heard of that are all part of the big machine that is Volkswagen or Mercedes or Porsche. When the factory goes down, the town goes to crap with it. I mean, look at Detroit in America. That's a perfect example of what's happening in Europe right now. The apprenticeships dry ups, the high streets, they board up, and the clever local kids who had a job and a future in that factory, as an engineer, for example, they're now looking for a flight out. That's what 51,000 lost jobs actually looks like on the ground. A town just going dark, right? And then there's the dumbest part of all. So the commission told car makers, get your average carbon emissions down by 2025, or you need to pay some fines. But most haven't been able to do it. And instead of paying the fines to the European people to improve infrastructure, fix some of the many problems in the EU, where does that money go? Where do the fines go that European automakers have to pay because they haven't made enough electric vehicles? And they haven't made enough electric vehicles because people just don't want to buy electric vehicles. Anyway, whatever. They have to buy carbon credits off of Tesla. Basically, they're renting Tesla's clean numbers to dodge fines in Europe. European car makers are handing cash straight to an American company that's crushing them just for permission to keep selling cars in their own market. It's like being mugged and then having to tip the mugger, shake his hand and say, good job, mate. Thanks for mugging me. That's a fine job you did there. And then we wonder why the European auto industry is dying. By the way, guys, if you want to stay up to date with what's happening in the markets, subscribe to my free newsletter. I publish a report on everything you need to know about the markets every single morning. Basically, I read 20 to 30 articles, I summarize them so you don't have to. There's a link below. Like I said, it's free.